We've been taking a look at the benefits of wildflower meadows, but if you want to create one in your garden, remember, they do take a bit of time until now. I say that because some of the meadows you see at Chelsea this week are created from strips of wildflower turf. These roll-out meadows have been produced by Yorkshire-based turf grower Stephen Fell, who earlier this month agreed to show us just how it's done.
We've been growing turf for about 25 years now, and obviously what we're trying to do for our customers is produce a nice, attractive roll that they can lay out in their gardens. And I wanted to try and be able to do the same thing with wildflowers. So we've used some of the technology to move across to growing wildflowers that can be rolled out instantly on somebody's garden or on a roof garden. When people typically try to establish a wildflower area in their garden, often that soil will be too fertile. Wildflower seed takes quite a long time to germinate. The danger is that there are other seeds there or roots and rhizomes of previous vegetation there which will grow fast and overtake that and establish before the wildflowers get going. So if you look at this bank here, this is a typical example of what would happen. So we've got nettles taking over, we've got groundsel which will spread very fast because it seeds very prolifically. We've got the dreaded cleavers here. We've got docks and we've got vigorous ryegrasses, and you can imagine a poor wildflower plant under here trying to survive. It really doesn't have a chance. Growing wildflower turf on a mat gives us a huge advantage that it's going to suppress vegetation from beneath coming up through. So this is how we start growing wildflower turf. Firstly, we lay down a plastic sheet to stop the roots growing into our soil, and then the layer of felt made from recycled textiles. On top of that, we spread the growing medium or substrate, which is made of green waste compost and recycled bricks. Having got this nice and level and just the depth that we want, we'll put this seed on at just the right seed rate. It's important to keep that seed moist so that it can germinate quite rapidly. So we have to have specialist irrigation to keep that nice and damp, but equally must be careful not to overdo it because wildflowers don't like being in waterlogged conditions. Once the wildflower turf has grown to a stage of maturity that we can sell it, we go out and cut it up into rolls, roll it up and put it onto a pallet, and it's important that it has a good root structure to be able to do that. And when you look at it, you might think it doesn't look very exciting, but if looking into it, there are lots of small plants, and that's a good time to put wildflower turf down. Wildflowers and having them flowering in time for Chelsea is very challenging, so we need to bring them in where it's warmer. So we've got these various mixtures here flowering probably 6 weeks earlier than they would normally. It's really interesting that once we open the doors, we get a whole range of pollinating insects. So not only bees and bumblebees, but also hoverflies, butterflies, and a whole range of other insects. At Chelsea, I hope the effect we have is that people can see they can bring wildlife to small areas, that it can be attractive, and it doesn't need to be complicated. They don't have to know a lot about plants and flowers. They can lay down this and sit back and enjoy this and let the insects really enjoy it as well.